I'm Skye, for anyone that doesn't know me. This is our
I first started singing when I was about 4 years old. My granddad was in a band, so we used to come around to the house and play guitar and stuff, and we'd sing together, and that's kind of how I got into singing. But then I first started taking it seriously and properly singing when I was about 11 or 12. I used to do pantomimes and stuff like that. And then obviously recently I've been taking it more seriously with my gigging and everything. I first started writing songs probably about 3 years ago. Yeah, when I was about 16 I first started probably writing songs. My writing process, I usually try and sit down at the piano and come up with a melody, or I'll come up with lyrics and then my producer or musical director, Christian, will come up with the music for it. My role models. Musically, I'd probably say Alicia Keys. She's who I grew up listening to. Everyone in my family loved her. So I grew up heavily on her music, and I think I'm influenced by her a lot. Performance-wise, I'd probably say people like Jessie J and Miley Cyrus. They're some of my biggest influences who I grew up listening to. My first gig was very surreal. It was at the Sunflower Lounge in Birmingham. I was part of a Sunday session, so there was 6 musicians, and we all kind of performed throughout the night. But having all my friends and family there made me feel a lot more comfortable. I was really nervous for my first ever gig, because growing up I kind of suffered a bit with stage fright and things like that. But having my friends and family there made me feel really, really comfortable. But it was a great experience, and definitely set me up with more confidence to do further gigs. Growing up I did vocal lessons and some singing lessons. I think I only did a few of them though, so I'm mostly kind of self-taught. But I take vocals at the moment at the college I go to, which is in Birmingham. So we do a lot of training there. But yeah, I do a lot of vocal warm-ups and exercises at home to improve, and I also try to pick challenging songs to improve my technique and things. But yeah, it's mainly just doing vocal warm-ups and exercises every day to keep pushing myself. I feel like there's a lot more pressure on a headline than a support act, because everyone's there to see you. As a support act, it's not as much pressure because it's not your show. But they're both incredible opportunities, and it's also fun to support other acts and build new fan bases and get to see, play with new artists. But I feel the pressure for the headline act, because I know everyone's going to be there to watch me. But I've got amazing support artists who I know will hype the crowd up, so I am excited. My connection to music as a child probably came from my granddad, who I've mentioned quite a few times. He was in a band called Black Roses, and as a child we used to go and watch them gig, and he'd always be around the house with a guitar and singing. So I think that's where my musical interest kind of grew from. The biggest hurdle throughout my journey has probably been anxiety. So growing up I always kind of suffered with a lot of anxiety, and I think at times it held me back from doing the things that I wanted to do. For example, I took a year of A-levels rather than going straight to music college, which I do now, because I was just kind of too afraid to do it. I never kind of took the opportunities I wanted and missed out on some things due to having a lot of anxiety and kind of stage fright. But I think in the recent years I've kind of overcome that. Before any performance I always feel full of nerves, I have like butterflies, and I'm kind of just overthinking everything. Even if I've prepared, I'm kind of worrying about the band or like the lyrics, the performance side of it. But then as soon as I get on stage and I kind of get into it, that all goes away. And then after, I usually feel like relieved and happy, and just kind of excited.
Where'd you get your outfit from? It looks amazing, right?
No, not relieved it's over, but just kind of relieved that everything's gone the way that I wanted it to go. Yeah, I've done performances before where I've looked back and there's obviously been mistakes, or I wish things had gone a different way, but it's all part of the process. And like those performances that I kind of wish would have gone better, we've learnt from them and we've included those things in the next performance. Throughout my journey, I've learnt, probably the main thing I've learnt is to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, then no one else will. But I'd also say confidence is a massive, massive thing that I've learnt. My confidence growing up was really low. And I think the main thing that's helped me with my confidence is surrounding myself with other musicians at like the music college that I go to. I've learned that hard work is really important. Yeah, I've learned that it's really important to surround yourself with the right people that have your best interests at heart as well. And that's another thing that has helped me on my journey, having like the friends and the family that I have. They're all so supportive and they push me in every way. And I think they've definitely helped me to gain confidence and improve. There was this one time I did a cruise back in 2019, and my mum Bless paid for all of it and like came on the whole journey with me. She took me to like auditions and training camps, came on the cruise with me, and I had like a massive confidence break just before going on stage. So we were on this cruise and the sound check went horribly. I was singing The Climb by Miley Cyrus and the sound check went horribly, and I remember going back to my room on the cruise and just crying to my mum. But she was there for me and she comforted me and pushed me to do it, and through that performance I got a lot of offers from like acting and performance agencies. So I'm definitely glad she was there to push me to do it, because I probably wouldn't have. This industry is really competitive, so you've got a lot of people of similar age and ability, all kind of fighting for the same place. I'd say one of the most important things in this industry is networking and your contacts. So like knowing the right people and having those connections to be able to get gigs and record music and things. I'd say the best way to get into the industry is to know what you want and to know who you are and who you want to be as an artist, and to kind of build your brand around that and be confident in your idea and your brand, and to get people to believe in you. I think building your social media is a really important thing, to be engaged with your audience and your followers. Contact other musicians for collaborations. Gig anywhere and everywhere. Contact your local pubs, clubs, anywhere you can play, go and play. Write as much as you can. Try and record demos or singles to release, send them to people. I think the most important thing in this industry is building networks and connections. So just going to places and chatting to people is a really important thing. My end goal, probably to become an artist. I'd like to sign to a record label one day. My short-term goals are to hopefully release an EP in the next year and then an album. But it's just to keep gigging and then to hopefully one day sign to a record label.